Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Hida. Today I will present our study titled How Gig Work Characteristics Influence Youth Financial Resilience, evident from Magelang with Financial Literacy S.E.M. moderators. For the first, I will start to share screen. Okay, let me begin with the background. Financial vulnerability remains a significant concern in Indonesia, particularly among young informal workers. According to Otoritas Jasa Keuangan 2025 report, the national financial literacy level remains relatively low. The problem is even more severe for gig workers who typically face unstable income, uncertain working conditions, and limited access to social protection. Studies by NOC reveal that gig workers often work long hours, receive low pay, and experience income volatility. Similarly, Pratomo highlight a paradox. While gig work offers flexibility and autonomy, it simultaneously exposes workers to higher economic precarity. These conditions raise an important question: are young gig workers sufficiently financially resilient? And what factors shape that resilience? Although research on gig workers is increasing, much of the current literature focuses on large urban cities such as Jakarta, Surabaya, or Bandung. Small city contexts like Magelang are rarely explored, even though economic structures and access to financial education might differ greatly. In addition, previous research has not truly examined the direct effect of gig work characteristic on financial resilience, the role of financial literacy in shaping resilience, the moderating effect of financial literacy on the relationship between gig work characteristics and financial resilience, the use of structured analytical frameworks such as S.E.M PLS in this setting. Therefore, there is a clear gap in understanding how gig workers in small Indonesian cities build financial resilience. The study aims to analyze the influence of gig work characteristic on financial resilience among young gig workers in Magelang. Examine the direct effect of financial literacy on financial resilience, test the moderating role of financial literacy, and provide empirical evidence from a small city context that has been underrepresented in the literature. And we employed a quantitative research design using structural equation model partial least square or SEM-PLS. A total of 173 respondents consisting of Generation Y and Generation Z gig workers in Magelang participated in this study. A purposive sampling technique was used to ensure that all respondents were active gig workers such as online drivers, delivery couriers, and freelance platform workers. The study involved three remands constructs. For the first, gig work characteristic, including flexibility, autonomy, and income instability, and then financial literacy, including financial knowledge and decision-making ability. And for the last, financial resilience, defined as the ability to withstand or recover from financial shocks. This is research model. Now let me briefly explain the structural model used in this study. This diagram illustrates the S.E.M PLS model that guides our hypothesis testing. On the left, you can see gig work characteristic as gig measured through several indicators measured gig 1 to gig 16, which represent dimensions such as flexibility, autonomy, and income instability. At the bottom, The construct financial literacy is shown with indicators FL3 and FL4, reflecting financial knowledge and decision-making ability. On the right, FR, financial resilience, is measured by FR2, FR4, and FR5, representing the ability to manage financial pressures. The arrow from GIG to FR represent the hypothesized direct effect with an estimated path coefficient of 0.207. The dotted arrow from GIG to FR via FL represent the moderating effect with a coefficient of 0.548. Later, I will explain that both of these relationships were not statistically significant, while the direct relationship between FL and FR was significant. This model provides a clear structure for examining how job characteristics and financial literacy contribute to financial resilience. And this is research results. Now I will present the key findings. We found that financial literacy has a significant positive effect on financial resilience. Young gig workers who possess better financial knowledge and decision-making skills are more capable of managing income fluctuations, maintaining financial stability, preparing for unexpected financial events. And then the direct effect of gig work characteristic on financial resilience was not significant. This indicates that flexibility, autonomy, or income instability do not directly contribute to resilience. Rather, the resilience seems to depend more on individual capability than on structural job features. Moderating effect of financial literacy does not moderate to relationship between gig work characteristic and financial resilience. This suggests that financial literacy plays a direct role, but it doesn't strengthen or weaken the effect of gig work characteristic. And then conclusion, based on these findings, we drew several important conclusions. First, financial literacy is the most influential factor shaping financial resilience among young gig workers. Gig work characteristics do not directly affect financial resilience. Financial literacy does not act as a moderator in this relationship, and financial resilience appears to be shaped primarily by personal financial capability, not by job structure or working condition. Our study offers several practical implications for local government, for gig platform, and for gig workers. Local governments should design financial education programs that target gig workers, especially youth. Community-based initiative can help reach workers who might not have access to formal training. For gig platforms, maybe gig companies can incorporate financial literacy modules into their application over training sessions or provide financial planning tools to help workers to manage variable income. And for gig workers themselves should focus on improving budgeting, saving habits, and building an emergency funds. These personal strategies can significantly increase financial resilience even in unstable working conditions. From a theoretical perspective, this study expands the literature on gig work by adding evidence from a small city context. It reinforces the argument that financial resilience is more strongly influenced by financial capability rather than job characteristic. Okay, and to conclude, our study provides valuable insight into how young workers in Magelang build financial resilience. The finding highlights the crucial role or financial literacy and the limited influence of gig work characteristic. Thank you very much for your attention. I welcome any question or comments. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.